Okay, so let me just check. I hope this is actually working. It always happens the same to me, but hopefully it is okay. Let's see if everything is all right. I'm going to put my glove on and take my digital pen, and let's see what we can do today. Okay, first of all, thank you for being there. I wanted to mention a couple of things, three things. First is my apologies, because last week I couldn't be here for the live session. I was out of town, so I was far from here and I couldn't connect. So my apologies about that. Also, there was no video on Thursday. I had some issues with editing software, and it drove me crazy, along with another issue, and it's that I actually couldn't finish the Dragon Boy. You won't believe it. Yeah, it's taking me much more than expected, because okay, the current state of the model is I already finished the whole blocking. I gave some resolution, and I started sculpting details. Sculpting details means that you add geometry to the model, and what happened is that I actually added too much, and now Blender and my computer is having issues and having a hard time to move and sculpt and the whole model. So I need to finish the sculpting thing, and I guess I have to decimate, like to take some geometry out, like to put down the number of polygons on the model. I think that there's a way of doing that. I tried and with other models, and I did it, but I have to try with this thing with the Dragon Boy. So that means that I'm still on the sculpting, detailing things stage. So I couldn't finish the clothing, the armor and the clothing, and all the elements, or all the accessories he has. So the thing is that probably I will release the video on this Thursday with the current state of the model. Probably not finishing it at all. I will just share the video of the progress, or the process, the making of process of the whole thing until now, until its current state. So I don't know if I will be able to finish it, honestly, but I will try. I will try, because my plan is to start posting videos about Kafalard and my world building and my characters, and start sculpting my own characters from my world. So that is the planning. But for the moment, let's just go with the Dragon Boy and see what we come up with. And later on, I will start sculpting Kafalart's characters. I will start also sharing their stories, so you will have a background for them, hopefully. And that is all. That is all. I don't want to bore you. And today, my plan was to actually practice some character design tips. I think they're very useful if you want to actually create characters, because it's the workshop today, or this session today, I wanted to be about using geometry or geometric. Is it that geometric shapes or oh, that's difficult, man. Geometric forms or shapes um, when building a character, and how shapes actually suggest some ideas or characteristics about the characters. And that's why I want to start today by explaining a little bit about character design and how shapes actually work. Let's delete the camera and the light. You have the screen keys here, so if you want to check out which key I'm pressing, or what I'm doing, you can see it here. So let's start first with a very, very, very short and brief explanation about shapes. So I'm gonna block today very, very easily and very quickly, uh, hopefully three kind of characters. And let's start by thinking on the different personalities and characteristics of its character. Okay, so I want to bring to life the blocking of three different personalities. One of them is a very rude, very strong, and very like stone shaped character. Like he's very like how is the word? I don't know the word exactly, but what I want to what I want to do is a character that is actually very strong and very straight to the point. Okay, he doesn't change his mind easily, and he's a bit of a brute, and a very rude and very strong character, like very short and strong character. So the thing is that in order to suggest the very the strength, or the toughness of a character, we usually think of square shapes. Okay, so we will always, not always, but mostly, will use like square shapes, very like rectangular, squared, cube shapes, in order to actually bring that idea or share the idea of a very tough character. Okay, so we can play with a very big square shaped body, and then adding characteristics. For example, we can think of a character that is very brute, like not very intelligent, and very brute and brutal. And for that, I can place a very tiny head with almost no neck, like he will have this very uh, wide and broad neck, almost touching the square shaped body. And we can actually think of a very strong character, but like short short necks. Okay, like a very muscular and strong warrior. Okay, and he can have a very wide chest. Imagine here he has his belly or his six pack or whatever you want to add, and very large, like a very large shoulders and huge arms. Okay, like very huge arms. But well, we can add like very big hands, for example, like very big ones, or also use small ones. We can also add like very tiny hands, which makes it a little stupid, like very foolish, like I don't know. But we can play with that. We can shorten the arms, so that way, let me check. Okay, and well, imagine we have his hands right there. And this way we have a very brute and brutal character right there. Then if we want to make it more like this one, like a sumo character, like he has more like a round belly. Okay, let's see. He has more like a big round belly like this, but still with a very wide shoulders. Imagine this is the arm. Okay, and we want to make it like with a very strong neck and a very tiny little tiny head, like that. Imagine we have kind of uh more like a golem, or a very strong creature, or a very strong fighter, something like that. Okay, so we use this shape. Also, we can create a character that is more like, let me check, let me see. We have a very clear example here, and it's like a warrior, and we want it to be very strong in the chest with that rectangular shape, and he has a very narrow hip. Okay, and strong legs, strong thighs, and like this. Okay. Okay, and he has a very strong shoulders, and he's kept the arms, the forearms. Day. Okay, so okay. Okay, you understand what I mean, okay? And he has a very tiny head with a strong jaw. Okay, imagine we have this character. Here is an example of that. This kind of character, and here you can see that we actually have many examples of that square shape. We can put it here on the chest. We can use it as general shape for the character. It brings that idea of a very very muscular, strong, and kind of stubborn person. Okay, so let's quickly go into the blocking of this type of character. Okay, so let's bring, first of all, let's bring the cube as the main feature or the main body shape of this character. So let's move it on the Z character and let's scale it because we want it to be kind of a big chunk of a portion of the body. Okay, so now let's scale it on the y-axis like that. Okay, he will have this very strong body shape. Let's bring the UV sphere as the head. So let's move it on the Z axis and scale it because we want him to have a very tiny head. And let's bring the head right here, a little up here. Okay, let's do it like that. Let's scale it on the Z axis because I want to use it as chest. Okay, as a chest. Probably I will later on. I will put here like very tiny. This is on the y-axis and there's a little here. Okay, so we have here, which is like the chest. Now I'm going to bring another, or just copy this sphere, or maybe we can actually, I don't know, we can actually duplicate this, but I rather do it I rather work with spheres. So let's duplicate it right there. Okay, and let's scale it a little bit, just a little bit, in order to create the okay, so let's now duplicate this sphere again because I want to don't forget to apply the scale because I'm moving the objects on the object mode. So you better apply the scale. Okay, now I'm playing with the shape of the neck. So let's move it because I want him to have a very strong neck. Let's move these a little bit higher like that. Same with this. I'm going to create the shape for the hips. I'm not following any of these designs. Okay, I'm just figuring it out, just playing around and just trying to, you know, do something interesting or just to play with the shapes. Okay. Of course, in my case, I wouldn't use unless I want to do a low poly character, I wouldn't use the cube. I would use a sphere in order to create this shape, this square shape, simply because I like working with spheres. But for clarity, so you can see it better, I'm using the square so you can see the shape. All right. Let's add. No, I forgot. Okay, let's make the belly. I forgot to add the belly. Oops. He's happy to see me. All right. Imagine. Okay, let's think this is the belly, and now yes, I want to bring this again. Again, he's getting happy. Okay. Oops. Remember that we need to activate the symmetry. Okay, just imagine we have something like this. Let's see. All right. All right. So now let's bring the legs. So Shift D to duplicate and S Z to scale it on the Z axis. Okay, I want him to have a kind of a strong thighs, like Remember the scale is Control A and apply the scale. And now, okay, imagine he has a very strong thighs. We will. Okay, that's it. Just to connect the I don't want it to be detailed, okay? I just want to show you how you can play with the different shapes in order to create different characters and their personalities. So again, no, I'm going to Shift D and again SZ to scale it and just bring it there. Rotate it with R. He has how do you call these? I forgot. Sorry. These are the thighs, and this is I don't remember. Sorry. Yeah. Scale again. Symmetry. The calves. Calves. I think it's calves. But I want them to be small, like very narrow. Okay. A very exaggerated or stylized character. Okay, I'm going to add the shoulders right now. Later, I will just tweak some things here, but I want to simply okay, Shift D S, big broad shoulders. Let's apply the scale sculpt. In this case, I will squeeze it a little bit like this. Rotate. G for moving. Imagine he has huge shoulders. Again. You should connect. Of course, we need more muscles and everything, but this is just the approximate idea on how to play with these shapes so you can get very interesting characters. Okay, so let's now go and add the S S Y, like very powerful biceps. Don't mess with this guy. I mean, you better not find him in a dark alley. You better not cross your path with him. I know he's looking a bit weird right now, but oops, sorry, like that. He's a weirdo, but just for now, trust the process. Okay, and now following the proportions, we need to bring the arm or the hand right here, right half of the thighs. You know, that's the human proportions. Although this guy is completely stylized, is completely exaggerated, but we need to follow some rules on the human proportions. You know, okay, here it's not. Okay, it's not exactly what I want, but okay, no, I'm not going into detailing or okay, I'm going to just copy these and scale it a little bit, scale it in that, and scale it again. Scale it again. Okay, apply the scale, Control A, scale, and let's rotate it a little bit so it has a more natural pose, although this should be a little bit rotated. Okay. And now we can add a little S and S X S Z. Let's take it a little bit more. Imagine this is the palm of the hand. Okay. Of course, this is not accurate or detailed or anything, just a very quick idea on how you can build your own characters by playing with proportions and geometry. Okay. Of course, this is for stylized characters, but you can use it. This idea of playing with the shapes, the geometry, oh my God, the geometric, is that the word? Doesn't sounds weird to me. I don't know. Geometric, I guess. So with the geometric shapes, you can use it for creatures, for any kind of a character you want to create. Okay, imagine this is the the hand's palm, and then you can add the the fingers. Okay, we have this tiny little head, but you can add the jaw, and also, oops, sorry, no, Shift-D, and here, scale, here, you can actually make a very heroic jawline, very brute and brutal, like very white, like a very Giga Chad kind of a character, something like that. I don't know. You can play thousands of body shapes and characters, whatever you want, actually, whatever your imagination leads you to. So there is no limitation. Just play with it. Okay, imagine. I mean, if I were you, if it was a character that I needed to create, I wouldn't use the cube as a, unless it's a low poly character, okay, but I wouldn't use the cube as a base. You can, of course, and it's helpful, but um I wouldn't, because I like to use better spheres, but it's just a, you know, something that I like. It's not. Now I can make this bigger and make this bigger and make his chest even wider, like that, like he's a beast. Okay. Okay, imagine he has also a very small foot. Just saying, okay, I'm just playing with the thing without expectations, just playing and not pretending it to be perfect. Never do that. Just play with it. So pues, hola Abner Soto, pues no hablo español porque se llega a mucha más gente y hay mucho más público fuera. Y, y como mi canal va a estar centrado en creación de mundos fantásticos, pues digamos que hay mucho más público interesado fuera que en el mercado español. Bien. Okay, so let's just make a foot, sorry. Okay. Okay, very small feet. Just playing, no. I'm not pretending to make it perfect. Okay, just like that. And let's now rotate this thing. And this one a little bit. Here, like that. Imagine, okay? You have a very strong character there. Okay, so let's move this guy out of here and hide it. Okay, there we go. So let's check another geometric shape, and that's the triangle, for example. Okay, so if we want to actually create characters that that can be energetic. We can use it to represent youth. We can use it to represent evil, sharpness, or someone not very trustworthy. We can use, for example, triangular shapes. And you have a very good example at, if you remember the Jafar from Aladdin movie, Disney's Aladdin movie. Jafar is one of my favorite examples. He has a very triangular shape, very distinguished. Like he has a small head with a long neck, and that shoulder pads like this, and his hat. Okay, and he has a very narrow hip and a long his long legs, like that. Okay, he's something like this. Of course, this is a very bad drawing. Sorry. Anyways, I guess you get what I mean. Okay, this shape is a triangle, and this shape is another triangle right there. Even I think that in his transformation into a warlock at the end of the movie, I think his hat is even kind of a rounded shape, kind of a rounded triangle like this, like very sharp. Okay, here on his shoulders, everything is a triangle. So that is because triangles not only suggest youth, because for example we can make heroes out of a triangle, and I will show you right now. We can make the shape of a hero by using the rectangle as we did before, like with a very strong chest like this and narrow hip. But we can use the triangle as the base for his body, and that suggests a very athletic complexion. Okay, and here we can add a very strong arms. Okay, sorry about the drawing. Huh? I'm not pretending to draw. Okay, so imagine we have this kind of character. Oops, very very quick. Okay, even we can add the idea, or we can suggest the idea of a younger person, kind of swimmer swimmer body, like that, by, okay, these are their shoulders, and we can, instead of a very big biceps, we just have a, like a shredded, like that. Pues la miniatura es ahí porque no tengo tiempo de hacerlas, porque llevan mucho tiempo de hacer y es algo rápido que utilizo con mis dibujos. Es simplemente una interpretación de mis dibujos, porque ese personaje es mío. Y no tengo tiempo porque tengo que hacer, para poder sacar los vídeos, tengo que dedicar mucho tiempo y también tengo que hacer arte para ganar dinero. Entonces, por eso lo utilizo, por rapidez. Cuando tenga más tiempo, sí que las haré. Okay, so imagine. So let's just focus on this kind of character. Okay, let's go with the, okay. All right, so let's go to the, let's bring a round cube. I like to work better with round cubes, like that. And let's now, okay, I don't want to use a cone, but in order to show you how it looks, okay, let's use a cone. Okay. Just for, just to show you as an example, okay? Like that. Let's see. Let's now duplicate this. Oops. Okay. This is looking weird, but it is just to show you how using a triangular shape can actually work for a cactus. Let's make a his neck. Okay. Something weird. Oh. Like that. Okay. And oh, the scale, just symmetry. Oh, okay, this is why I didn't want to use the. Let's symmetrize this. That's it. Round cube, and let's make his belly, or let's say his again. They are happy today. Must be the hot weather, you know. Okay, just bring it. All right, oops. Let's see. Okay, imagine we have something like that as a base. Now we can add more elements. Shift D, set like that. And oops, forgot to. Okay. Okay. We must adjust the proportions, but let's continue with general shape like that. Okay. Again, I'm gonna bring this right here. Like that. Oops, and okay. Let's now make long legs. Okay, like okay. Yeah, I forgot to symmetry, but no need. Like that. Okay. I'm gonna duplicate this and bring it right here. Except I am, let's see. Okay. And oops. Again. My computer is getting a little too crazy with the heat. Okay. Imagine we have something like this. Okay, again, not perfect at all, but let's Control Shift. Shift D. These are the shoulders. And S, Y. Let's say like that. Let's rotate. Yeah, let's, oh, we cannot, no way. Again. Scale. Okay. See if I can simply push this a little bit. Like, okay. Well, it is just to show you how the shape can actually. Of course, I could add more geometry on this and add a modifier so I can tweak it better. But it's not necessary. I just want to show you that you can use these shapes as a base for designing your cactus. Okay. Like that. Kind of a weird guy, but it's all right. No need to be perfect at this point. Okay, just no, let's duplicate this. We can make him skinny, or but with that triangular shape on the shoulders. And you can use the triangle on the head or on the hips or whatever you need it, but it will always give that sensation of a sharp character, energetic, but when used with the bad guys, it can really help on suggesting that idea. Okay, I don't like it, but I mean, I don't like this guy with a triangle like that, but you know, it's simply an example on how you can play with the shapes. Okay, again, okay. Um, Something for the hand, just like that. Just a okay, and Shift D, and again scale, and that's it. Oops. Oops. What? What is this? But I'm sure you understand what I mean. Okay. I'm pretty sure you know this shoulder and the arm is too big. But I will do. We should move these and just to fix it because we need the curvature of the body, but I'm not getting into that. Not now. I mean, it's just to show you that we can play with all different shapes. Okay, So this is more like an heroic kind of character. Like that. Can and we have example of that. Let me check. Here we have a young male here, like this triangular shape here, as you can see. Here is also a triangle. You can actually see it here on the shape from the head to the shoulders. It's very triangular. Okay. And here is more like I mean, we could see as a triangle here and a square or a rectangle here, but it more squarish more than triangle. Oops. I just flipped the microphone. Um, Here, let's see what we have here. Well, yes, here. We see the triangles here, of course, on the neck, but on the, well, here we have a very triangular shape for the body here, you see, like that. Let's see what we have here. Here we have a young or at least younger character, which has this athlete body shape. And here, like a heroic kind of character. Here we have it, but on the like a triangle, but flipped upside down. So you can see here like this triangular shape coming from the head to the hips. It's more, it's wider on the hips than on the shoulders. That's another triangular shape, but flipped. Here it's a very triangular body as well, focusing on a very strong chest, like that. Of course, the feminine bodies mixed both triangles and round shapes. That we can check that out in another session, as you can see here. Okay, like here we have this perfect triangle on the hips and the round shapes on the rest of the body. Here on Esteli's character, we use the triangle to make the edges very sharp and to sharpen the, you know, the general look of the character and the way it let's see, because I want to rotate this a little bit. I want to rotate this a little bit. Okay, so that would be like a heroic kind of character. Let's bring this and check scale. Like that. This looks a little silly right now. Okay, just there now. Nothing fancy. I just want to because I don't want to leave the guy without hands or feet, but there's no need to make them. Actually, I'm simply wasting time. But anyways, I think it's clear how you can get more like a heroic character or a villain or some kind of young character. So let's go with the third one, which is the ball or the round shape. Let me just hide this thing. And now let's go with the circle or the round shape. Okay, for the round shape, we usually associate it with tender characters, with of course chubby, also like sweet or gentle. So we tend to, or something tender, like for example, a mother or a grandma, or you remember the character from Disney? What is the name of the robot? I Big Six, the robot from Big Six movie. That is a clear example of a round character. So you can have very like, okay, no, I don't want. I want more like a pear rounded shape, because here we have the circle here on the belly, so we can have this kind of a pear body shape. Okay, here's the chest and here is the belly, and also we can add a more rounded thighs like that. And like narrow shoulders. Oops, again. For some reason, it doesn't stop popping Okay, so we have like very rounded shaped character. Um, Here we have many examples of that. Look at this character. It is really interesting and very funny, but it works really well. Also for the kids. For the kids or the babies, I mean, the main shape of a baby is this one. It's like a, not really, this is more like a, let me see. Okay. Okay, so we have like a big head, round head, with a chin that is a little narrower than the general shape of the head. And also they usually have like small bodies. Like it's very, like this is very stylized, but stylized. But you know, it's like this, a very, with the diapers. Okay, so and his head, his face is condensed in this area here, like very low in the face, and all this is his head, you know. So this is the general shape of a baby, and it kind of remember or remind us of a circle. So each time we see circles, we tend to think of a tender, sweet, or gentle person. Of course, we can use the round shape also to make giants like this one. Um, he kind of looks gentle, not that um, menacing, like for example, this kind of guy that he looks menacing because it's mixing like square and circle. But this is all a circle, and that gives us the idea of a gentle one. So let's see, we have, of course, the sumo fighter here uses the round shapes here, like a very rounded character, like a pear shaped body. And here is more like a square and circle body and circle belly. But this is more menacing, it's not here. Okay, here he's menacing because he has that wide shoulders and very strong limbs. So we can mix the ideas to bring characters that are actually good fighters, but with that idea of a very kind of like very strong and rounded belly with a really, I mean, with if we play with the width of the shoulders, we can get uh, a gentle character or a strong one. Oh, imagine if we just take the shoulders of this guy and make them narrower, so he would look more less menacing. So let's check it out. So let's bring our beloved mesh, the round cube. Let's scale it to make it bigger, and we will use it as the base for, I don't know, we can let's see, let's make a very huge character, like very giant character. Okay, so let's duplicate this and bring it up. No, scale. Like this is for the chest. Now he looks like a snowman, but no, I promise it's not. Okay, the head must be tiny. Okay, and kind of a dug into the chest and the neck. Almost no neck. So let's now apply the scale, symmetry. Like that. And let's make a gentle giant, but powerful at the same time. Oh, I forgot the symmetry. Sorry. Let's see. Okay. Now. So he's a gentle giant. So he's powerful, but at the same time, he's kind. Let's see, like that. Let's make the hips. No. Oops. And symmetry. Okay, he has a very wide hip. Okay. Okay, remember this is not perfect. We just want to make something that resembles their character. And we don't want anything perfect. We want to play with the shapes. All right, let's see, a little bit there. Okay, let's bring the thighs, which will be big. Like that. Or we can just put it like that. Okay, and like this. like very thick thighs, and the legs will be kind of short for his body. Okay. Like that. And let's bring the calves scale of this thing. So this is a really good exercise for any of you that are actually trying to learn Blender like me. Just try to play with the shapes and create your own characters. Or even just take a look at the of the reference you have in front of you and try to to think of the shapes that actually form the body of the character. So that will really help you understanding how to build the character. And will give you a very strong base or foundation on how to proceed on the blocking. Because if you don't see the shapes clearly, it is very difficult to actually get up good blocking that helps you bring the character alive, So you better think really, really good on how you want the character to be. Okay, so let's now I would advise you to actually make this exercise daily, on a daily basis if you can, or just the more you can, just take characters, any reference, and try to block the body as fast as possible. I mean, not going into detail or not focusing on any kind of detail or accessory or whatever. Just let's make a tiny feet. Tiny and proportioned with his body, but not weak. I mean, he has strong feet. Okay, let's go and add the shoulders. And in this case, I will just add very Like the shoulders will actually melt with the round body, like not too much bumps. And with bumps, I mean like these this line here. I don't want it to jump like this, to bump like this. I want it to be like very fluid, like coming from his head right to his arm, like here. Okay, so in order to do so, of course, this would take much work than this, but because you need to, I mean, if you want to develop a character or make a really good blocking, it really takes time. But the general shape, you can get it pretty fast. Just to know where you're heading, like where your goal is, you know. Of course, is this a character that you will develop later for a video game or a sculpture or whatever? You need to pose it properly, okay? So of course you cannot make a character like this with the with the arms completely melt with the. You would need to actually separate it from the body, and like very strong, like strong arms, but at the same time not very muscular. Of course, we need to fix all these because this comes like this. But I don't want to go into going too further. Because there's no point on, you know. Okay. Okay, let's see. Kind of. Oops. I would need to add more geometry, but no need to. I mean, okay. And last but not least, let's make the forearm and rotate it. Oops. Come on. All right. Okay, we need to move these a little backward. This rotate it a bit. And also this one to bring it right there. This type of character always brings to my memory the character of Obelix. I don't know if you know him. He's from Asterix and Obelix, from a French um, comic series. Also, they made movies and cartoons. It's a very fun character, and Obelix is my favorite. He's a very kind and funny character. Okay. Since this is just an exercise, I will say, because I'm not happy with it, but I will say we can, let's see, scale on set like that. Set like that. Okay. Of course, these arms are really, really short, and we need to fix that by, for example, making the legs shorter. But it's not the point of the blocking. I mean, of the video is just to show you how you can play with the characters, whether they're creatures, whether they are humans. You can you can create any character you want just by playing with the proper shapes and knowing some helpful tips that will help you understanding the character design or the character creation process, you know. But since this character is not going anywhere because I'm not using it for anything, not right now, I won't focus too much on detailing, you know. Okay, as you can see, it's too exaggerated, but we want that. We want it to be really exaggerated and as stylized, you know. Here I want a very big hand. Like very huge hands like that. I mean, not huge, but compared to his face or to his head, they're quite big. And he's missing the fingers, so once he have them, he has them. Okay, so this is the idea. Okay, this is the you can play with bigger arms, really big arms. Okay, and that way you can get a different I mean thousands of different characters only playing with the very same shapes. Uh, and this is it. We have 3 different characters. I know they look a little weird because they are half. They don't have the other half, but I'm pretty sure that you can actually, you know, get the idea on. Let's come to the object and let's bring them all together. Okay. And where is the other one? He's there, hiding behind the giant. Okay, just maybe. bring them right there. And no, like that. Okay, so here we have 3 different bodies for a character. Very roughly and very, it's a blocking, just a very rough idea, but I guess you can get what I mean. It is just a matter of um, playing with the shapes, trying and exercising and practicing, and you will get really cool blockings like these ones. Of course, you need to know to have some anatomical knowledge of some muscles, but no way of you don't need to learn the names, or it's not necessary. I mean, you just need to know the volumes that you need to place on plays, and that way you are done. I mean, you can sculpt perfectly. So probably in another session, I will go deeper into the muscles and some um, blocking muscles ideas. Nothing fancy, nothing about learning the muscles as a doctor or a person that actually uh, learns every name possible to just show up. No, you just need to know where the volumes are placed, and with that you can sculpt perfectly. So I will probably do that in another video. That's all for today. Thank you very much. Thanks for the ones that actually commented on the chat. And see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye bye.